around. Welcome, everybody. It's Tuesday. Depending where you are, it might be 7 a.m. or it might be 2 p.m. It depends on your mountain time or UK time. But whatever time it is, it's always time for community building with Nick and Barb. And as always, I've got the amazing Barb Tomlin sitting right next to me, virtually, of course. Barb, how the devil are you?
Well, I've only had about 2 sips of coffee so far. And I see, I don't know about you, but behind the scenes here, it's saying we're having trouble streaming to Facebook. This may be an issue on Facebook's end. Is it possible the stream is ended or deleted from Facebook? But it's showing, the exclamation point is not showing on all of the pages. It's only showing on my ballooning news page. So maybe that's what it's about. And we already have a comment. Let me see. Oh, that's okay. You put that they can join you on school.
Yeah.
So maybe what it is that it's not streaming to ballooning news, which would mean that it requires a re-authentication. However, we're live. So I'll just share that later. Yeah. But it didn't, it didn't show it did not show on the application we're using that I needed to re-authenticate. That is just how my day has started, believe it or not.
Oh, I'll tell you what, Bob, it's one of those days today that I think, I've come on and my big ring light has just...
It's fading out.
So I've got my little light there, still got the big one. But
geez, I haven't even, you pointed that out to me, but I haven't actually been on camera for a while. That I'm sitting here, my ring light is up on the shelf beside me.
yeah, actually, you could just be sitting there in your pajamas. For all I know.
I don't know. I can't. If I go live, full body. I am going through so much right now that I don't know about you, but I cry these big crocodile tears, and just about everything can set me off, and it would just be the sappiest live.
Because you'll start me off, and then we'll both be blubbing, and that would not make a good live stream at all. That's not going to help us build a community. Oh, maybe it will, though, Barb.
To empathize,
will pity us. Pity poor Barb and Nick. They are two blubbers. Can't bring two sentences together.
It still turns me on when people refer to blab. Isn't that crazy? When you said 2 blabbers and they came from the UK. But I mean, that was the change for all of us. I mean, we'd done Google Hangouts. I don't know if you did, but I should.
I've hung out in Google, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's like that was where, can we make the camera work and all that? It was really funny. When did you get online? What year?
For live streaming?
Well,
just online in general.
We're talking about community building. So we had other tools before live streaming, but when did you actually connect with the world on the internet?
Oh, on the internet. Oh, wow. Must have been, I guess, probably 2009, something like that.
Wow. That is the year that I opened my Facebook account. So it gives me a new perspective because, I've been connected online since the 80s.
Well, you are a bit older than me. I mean, if we're talking fax machines, Barb, then back in the 80s, I was faxing people. Absolutely. I thought it was the best invention ever.
We connected online with text, through the bulletin board system. And then it was, we complemented that. We had, most of us had fax machines sitting beside us, so we could send drawings. Talk
Yeah.
about cryptic. But
Well,
whatever.
actually, Barb, I worked for a company, Balkan and Black Sea Shipping. We in London, we managed the Balkan, the Bulgarian shipping fleet effectively, because of course they were a communist country back in those days, and so after the reasons why it was being run out of London. But yeah, and so we had a teletext ship to shore thing, so we could send messages to
teletext. Yes, yeah.
We could send telegrams to them, and we could even send them money. That was the crazy thing. We could send them a one little texty thing, and they'd take it to the bank, and the bank would give them several $1,000s. Crazy.
That's,
Yeah.
I really think, looking back, Nick, that it's like, why are you drawn to folks from the UK? And of course, there's one word I always mention during our live streams, but it was Cameron balloons that really made ballooning popular. And Cameron balloons is in the UK, but Don Cameron came to Albuquerque, and Sid Cutter, they were both gentlemen that I have known in my lifetime. Don's still with us, Sid's gone. But it was interesting. The whole purpose was connecting, people through ballooning around the world. And I just felt like I had the magic, because that community, the ballooning community, they came from, they were decorated veterans of wars, were kings of countries. It brought the whole world together. And I was determined, whether it was text and faxed or whatever was available to us. We went from there to CompuServe, and then from CompuServe to Prodigy and AOL, and it seemed after all of that the number one thing that brought us together was music.
Ah, yes.
Really? And I have to tell you something.
Come on in.
Tell me. In the middle of the night, of course, my corgis, sometimes they have to go on an additional run, or I do.
I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
I always check the phone because my husband's out of town at the moment, and I want to make sure everybody's okay. So I check for messages, and there was a public group on Facebook that was talking about its memories of Albuquerque, and a person had posted that, what was it like? I was born in the 2000s, and what was it like in the 1980s? And a portion of our city, which is the uptown area of our city, she was particularly interested in. And it set me off, because my entire history online, I was either downtown in this city working, or I was uptown.
So you are the downtown Petula Clark.
Remember,
uptown.
Which one? What was it? I was trying to think, because remember, I'm going, that was in the 80s. I can't think of the song. And then I thought of you and your podcast. How is that going?
Yeah, it's going well. Yeah. So Uptown Girl was the 80s.
Yeah.
Billy Joel.
Billy Joel, yeah.
Yeah, that icon. And downtown was Petula Clark.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, those were the days. That was pre-80s. That was pre-80s, I think, downtown.
Yeah, and so going into that, but going into the 80s, music was a driving force in everything we did, it seemed.
Oh, wow. I love 80s.
Yeah.
We kind of went through that amazing kind of like hedonistic late 60s and the like, and then the 70s we had loads of disco and a bit of punk towards the end, and then 80s was just new age,
Yeah.
Incredible
Yeah.
stuff. Some amazing bands in the 80s. Can't wait to cover that on the podcast because I actually remember them.
Yeah, right. So what year are you guys up to on your podcast?
This week we hit a new decade. We're hitting 1970 this week. What have we got on there?
I was there for that one.
So glad you asked. Yeah, I'm starting to remember some of these songs. So yeah, we've got the Watergate scandal.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
We got Houston. We had a problem. I think was in 1970. But we got so we got the breakup of the Beatles. We got the start of glam rock with T-Rex. Get it on, smoke a bong, get it on. That sort of thing. And the beginning of we got some amazing Motown. Motown was really coming into.
Oh yes.
And also then the birth of what was like heavy metal. So we had
oh yeah, right.
We had Status Quo. We had who else was there? Can't think who I've got now. I didn't write it down. The guy recently died. Black Sabbath.
Yeah.
They were in the 70s. Yeah, and glam rock, of course. So we had some very strange looking people. And there's a couple of people in the 70s that we don't talk about at all. Because they are now persona non gratis, even though in the UK they were phenomenally famous at the time. And good friends with one of them, good friends with the king. There you go. Sound judge of character, that man.
Wow, that is a piece of history that I can't recollect.
I know it's amazing that we have two people in the Mountbatten Windsor family, both connected to two of the biggest paedophiles on the planet. However, let's not go there. Let's not go there.
Exactly.
Otherwise, there'll be a knock on my door.
Exactly.
Off his head. By crikey, you can't say that about the king. I know. Actually, you've got him coming to you end of April. You can keep him.
I do think it was my favorite decade of music so far. I really do. The 90s weren't bad, but it seemed like after I got in the 2000s, it didn't play as big a role in my life. In fact, what I would listen to were the 70s and 80s, when I was working away. And I mean, Shania Twain was in the 90s, and I was Durham Skywriter checked in this morning. Patricia Murray, she has been so diligent and going live every day since we started these adventures with her community news. I mean, talk about building community. She has a newsletter on the Durham Skywriter site, and she reports in what's going on in the area all the time. Ooh, Patricia, if you want to join us, you can definitely slip me a message and I'll drop you the link to the studio.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
To do that.
Special guest.
Because I'm definitely having trouble getting going this morning.
Having a special guest that knows all about communities. Because I just realised community building with Nick and Barb, and basically we haven't discussed communities at all.
Actually, that is community.
I've got to ask you, what is happening with Facebook these days? Keep it clean.
It's for me, as I actually signed on, you mentioned 2009. It was in June of 2009. And I had gone up to Central Oregon to consult on they have Facebook actually launched a data center there. And another, a fellow from the southern part of the state, he went up to manage the data center. And so it was getting, she's not dressed yet. Patricia just said of Durham Skywriter said she's not dressed yet.
Fair enough.
You can always come on audio only, like Barb does.
Yeah, I don't think Barb's dressed at all.
Oh, yes, I am. Yes, I am. You wouldn't believe what I'm dressed in. You want to guess?
Oh, no.
Let's don't go there.
You're going back to your 80s vibe, I can imagine. Very colourful, lots of bright colours.
Go back to that topic, though, because...
Sorry, back to Facebook, yeah.
And Facebook, because that is what what stimulated me thinking about it. Even I would say a month ago, we had a lot more notifications on our profiles. Because, I mean, if you belong to groups, if there's one new post in that group, you should have at least one profile. And you have settings for each group you're in. You can say, I want to put this on highlights. I just want to be notified when I'm tagged, when the @everyone tag is used, because if someone is using that responsibly, they're only using it when it's a community alert. Of course, you know how it happened when after they launched it, people were just using it right and left. And so annoying others. So you do have the option to turn it off. But if you're really sincerely interested in a topic that's in that is being covered by that community, you want to be notified. And so now, and I would tell people, even in my lives, I'd say, oh, there's only 12 notifications, or, and I would have to be very careful to keep my notifications addressed. I would have to, click on it, say that I saw it or something. And yesterday there were like 3 notifications at a time. And I, psychologically, especially after, I don't know if you heard about the court case that
yes, the Meta and Google. Yeah.
And well, it was the court, it was really about a child in New Mexico and being influenced by Facebook, and how social media was not so good for everybody. It's addictive, and it can be addictive, but the notifications have just gone wacko. And I think that if it weren't for the fact that on my personal blog site, I've kept links to particular groups I manage and stuff. I mean, I do have favorites marked. I've used their tools religiously, but I do have favorites marked, as well as friend lists marked, so that I can go to them directly. But it's a lot of work, and it's like, well, wait a minute, they're like forcing me into retirement, because it's like, I don't want to go through all that. I helped you guys develop this technology. Why do we have to go there?
Oh,
yeah. But I was lost in the 80s this morning. I have to tell you that when I got that notification and they were talking about a particular part of our city, and and it's called Uptown. And when some girls, oh, well, it wasn't there then. And I thought, oh my gosh, it was there since the 80s. And she was born in the woman who made the post was, like she said, in the 2000s.
Yeah.
And my own son graduated from high school in the year 2000. And as you know, if you've been online any time, the year 2000 was a big deal in the world of technology, because people were wondering if their computers would be broken all at once.
Oh, the Y2K bug.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So
was that just the biggest scam ever? Whoever dreamt that up must have been absolutely crying laughing.
Oh my gosh, that was so funny.
It's running Y2K bug.
Yeah. Yeah, so it was totally crazy.
It was. Planes were going to fall out of the sky. Your toaster would attack you, and your fridge would up and leave. Those were the scare stories for the Y2K.
Absolutely. But in the 80s, one of the things, I don't know if it was this way in your country. You'll have to tell me, but I'm going to give you my side, because I was so excited to get a role to manage at that time was the biggest computer store in the state. And it was right downtown in Albuquerque. And that's the one where Bill Gates and Paul Allen walked in to hand me the Microsoft Word, the first edition, and this thing called Mouse. You remember that? Well, you probably read it in the history books,
Yeah. Bill Gates famously went up to Barb and said, Here's your Windows
No,
software, love, and here's the mouse.
he was a kid. He was a kid, and a smelly kid at that. But he's never going to be watching my lives. And so I really liked Paul Allen. Unfortunately, Paul's gone. But anyway, they ended up heading out to. It's funny how New Mexico feels about stuff like that. They ended up going to Washington and making Washington so famous, but it was those early stages, and that in 84, and you're looking at that, and back then, and people, they were just DOS. What is DOS? The disk operating system.
Yeah.
I learned all those languages. I remember how to code in JavaScript to this day, and learning HTML. People go, what is she talking about? Because now we can use AI even to do.
I know that's a scary thing, though, Barb. How it's changed from having to learn all that coding, and then at the moment I've got a little gig making user generated content, promoting a brand called Lovable.ai, which is a vibe coding platform that literally you just say, "Oh, make me a website for an Italian restaurant,"
Wow.
and 5 minutes later, you have got a pretty good-looking Italian restaurant website. Yeah, and then you can then say, "Oh, add a booking form, add this, add that." I mean, it is scary stuff. But but in the UK, I'm not sure. Yeah, so you had all that going on in the UK, 1984. I told you I was working. Here's the thing: I was a mere lad. I was 18.
Wow.
And the year before, so I worked in a company called Boots the Chemist in the UK, and then one of their big flagship stores was in Slough. So I was in that store, and I was selling like photography equipment and hi-fis, stacking. We called it hi-fi. We used to joke it was lo-fi. Really, it wasn't nothing hi-fi about it at all. And then suddenly it was like, oh, we're going to start selling computers. And so I thought, oh, that sounds a bit more exciting. And so I went up for all that. I thought, right, I'm going to apply for that position as a computer nerd salesman. And so I went for it, and I came second. Frank, he had a club foot. Oh, he was a lovely guy, but he had a club foot and he was very smelly. And so, I was a bit sad. So I had to stick with my hi-fi. I left then after a while. Hey, Grant, just reminiscing about Boots the Chemist in Slough. Big 2-story thing it was. But and so my career could have taken a different path had I got that initial selling computers gig in Boots in Boots in Slough. But no, it wasn't to be. I then drifted into accountancy, the way one does when your dreams have been shattered and all hope in life have been sucked out of you.
I bet my husband
but the computers, though, Barb, sorry, I went off on one. The computers, though, were really, really simple. We had what were they called? They're like BBC Commodore computers, and the little can't think, but they were tiny little things. The Sinclair.
Oh gosh,
yeah. My dad had one of those because he really is a nerd, and so he had one of those. He could print. He had this little weird, tiny little printer he plugged into it. He couldn't do much at all. I mean, you could probably work. He was making little spreadsheets, I guess, or the equivalent back in those days. Little lists, little databases of expenditures. Spectrum, thank you, thank you so much, John. The Spectrum computers. Yeah, and me and my mate Si, we used to make it draw funny little drawings. And that was about it. That was all we knew about computers, because of course we didn't learn anything like that at school at the time, because we had no computers. Even though I was only 18, I'd gone through secondary school without seeing a computer at all.
Wow.
Suddenly they appeared.
Well, they must have had in the UK. They must have had some training, because I remember my first UK partner that we didn't call it I can't remember back then. They were
You told Gary.
You know, in general, he was a partner in business too.
Oh, right.
We actually did a project because we met on the Prodigy bulletin board, and back then, you know, Sears and Bell Atlantic were all invested in that particular system, and they had private bulletin boards for industry. And so he worked for Ross Perot. He was a consultant for Ross Perot. And Ross Perot had
Barb, I'm going to play next week. I'm going to play name drop bingo. So we've had Ross Perot, we've had Bill Gates,
Paul Allen.
Yeah.
I could give you a lot more because I was there.
I know.
You have to watch that movie Halt or that series Halt and Catch Fire, and then you'll get it. Yeah, I consulted on that too. My son, in fact, called me up in Oregon. He said, "Mom, you worked on that, didn't you?" He recognized a lot of the scenes.
I think you know everybody in the States ever.
No,
Sorry, Barb, I've disrupted you. Sorry, carry on.
Well, you get involved in ballooning, and it's not just hot air. Trust me.
just ticking off ballooning.
Yeah. How many times? I mean, there should be a contest for how many times do I say ballooning in the conversation. And I'm telling you, back in the 80s and 90s, you know, when I was working with all the geeky kids and stuff, it's like, oh, there she goes on ballooning again. And it hasn't stopped in all this time. I just, you know, it's like, because that is the one thing that happened in history that really addressed everything in communication and community building. I'm sorry, but I had to bring it around, because if it wasn't for the Montgolfier brothers wanting to advertise, you know, their businesses, that's what brought the community together, was that main event, you know.
See the big balloon up in the sky. I know. It's almost as if you told me that story before. Once or twice. But no, glad you brought it back to community though, Barb, because it is called community building with Nick and Barb.
Oh my gosh. I so need these laughs every day.
Cool. So apart from buying a balloon and inflating it, Barb, any other top tips for community building you want to share today?
Oh, it is all about the people. It's not the technology. And when you look how frightened people are about the AI today, they were frightened about computers. They thought computers would take us away. They did, some of us, particularly a lot of the politicians, but we're not going to go there.
No, technology is a crazy thing. Actually, one of the things we were talking about on the podcast the other day was on 1969, when we were talking about the moon landings. We were saying the amazing thing is two things. I couldn't believe how far away the moon actually was. 250,000 miles. Amazing. And they managed to hit it with less technology than I've got in my cell phone. Yeah.
Isn't that amazing?
That blew my mind. Absolutely blew my mind. And I know Artemis is due to go off tomorrow, isn't it? On April the 1st. April Fool's Day. Maybe they should delay it.
Right. I mean, that was some media situation there. That's like, hello, did you guys not learn anything in school? Oh, yeah. It's just hilarious. Anyway,
that was the
back
cool
to the 80s thing, and your
back to 80s. Yeah.
Don't mind pitching your podcast because I think that is so cool. But you're in the 70s now in the podcast, right?
Yeah, so
You just
1970. Yeah,
So that's
gets released on Friday, 1970.
on Fridays. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll make sure to tune in. But
yeah, I just wish we could actually play the tunes.
yeah,
That would be so much nicer. But I don't have £1 million for a license. So
right.
until we get some sponsorship, then we'll just have to talk to you about the tunes as opposed to anything else. But it's slowly growing, and there's a little community that's starting to come to join around this little podcast as we walk our way through the decades.
Great. Well, anyway, I do want to get this out before we part today.
Yes.
The influence of the 80s, and I want to ask you about your country. Here in the United States in the early 80s, on television was still a big deal. And we had a series we had 3 series, I think it was, that really influenced our clothing, our hairstyles, and everything that went on. And that was
Sesame Street. Sorry, Barb. I'll stop interrupting you. Get it out, woman. 3 series.
That was a great one.
Sorry.
But really, because I know you're a male and I'm a female, but we weren't always treated equally as females,
No, it's very true. Very true.
Particularly, I know from my countryside, I literally in 1983, I had to wear a suit and I had to make sure the skirt was right over like the middle of my knee. I had to wear I literally got fined if I didn't wear stockings.
Wow.
No kidding. But I was an officer in the securities industry. And of course, I had to meet with top people. I have to be careful about mentioning names.
But they did like a stocking, a well-turned.
No, but I'm just saying that because I was female, I had to dress that way,
Yeah. Absolutely.
But do you, and I don't know, that's why I wanted to ask you about, did this happen in the UK? Because I was telling you about that post in the Memories group in Albuquerque. And I remember because there was Dallas and Knots Landing and Falcon Crest in particular that really, and then there was the one in the neighborhoods. I have to think.
We've got another one with our Joan in it.
With who?
Our beautiful Joan Collins, national treasure in the UK.
Yeah, she was.
Did you call it Dynasty or Dynasty?
Yeah, Dynasty. And
Yeah,
but all of those, the clothes, the women. I have them in a box, but I thought people aren't going to believe we wore these because they were a lot of those fashions were like redos from the 20s and 30s, I think. But we had pads, right? And big shoulder pads, right? That's what I remembered. Did they have that? I think I saw Princess Diana in big shoulder pads.
As a young man, I was a big fan of big shoulder pads and pencil skirts.
Really?
Absolutely. I would be putty in a girl's hands in my dreams.
I'm telling you, that was really something. But I remember being, it was like we had to go through inspection. The women did when we got to work. And if we saw a woman's skirt too high or a run in their stocking, we had to report it to personnel. No kidding. I'm like,
yeah, well, and I tell you,
that's here in the USA.
this might sound a little bit bizarre, but I remember, and I was 18, so it would have been in the 80s, would have been 84. I remember I had a girlfriend called Sarah, my first proper girlfriend, if you know what I mean. And I remember her mum was really funny. And we just sat there around the dinner table one day, and she just said, "So Nick, as a boy or as a man, what is it men find attractive about stockings? I'm thinking, I'm dating your daughter. I don't know. There's no right way to answer this question. No, I think I just blushed and said, "Oh, I don't know."
I can hardly imagine that scene. Oh my God!
Just around the dinner table, in polite company. Her mum was quite funny, I have to say. She would deliberately say things just to embarrass me, I think. So, yeah. But
Well,
no,
you-
no, it was very big, and of course now for my personal opinion, and I had the structureless jackets and the kind of t-shirts and the trousers to back up my point. And I actually got a job. I wore it to an interview. I was as close to looking like Don Johnson in Miami Vice as I could possibly get. And the guy that employed me, he said, "Nick, I love the way you dress. You got the job."
Oh yeah.
Thank you, Don. I said, "Thank you. I'll watch every episode after that." Yeah.
That reminds
Miami
me.
Vice was just amazing.
Yeah, Miami Vice.
I didn't have the Ferrari though.
Yeah.
I had a little funny little black Suzuki car. Yeah, it wasn't a Ferrari at all, unfortunately. But
wow.
God.
I do remember back in that time where I had a Don Johnson. It was a linen jacket. I think I had 3 of them, and that's exactly. I'm a female, and when I came into work, that's what they said. Are you a Miami Vice fan? You know?
Yeah.
It was very distinctive. You know that.
Oh, absolutely.
Sure.
It
Fashion.
was, yeah. Those sleeves slightly rolled up, shades, and I mean, it wasn't sunny at all.
Yeah,
It was raining, but yeah, it's like, yeah,
absolutely. I remember my husband used to have to wear suits to work every day, and we would, because there's a middle class here in America, he would buy those suits at, I mean, the majority of them at J.C. Penney's because he had to, he wore them out very fast, and I mean, they were really fine places to buy them. He did buy he did buy some of those, but to wear to work every day is like what we wear today, to work, and versus back then. I mean, he really had to dress up, but he didn't get fined, is my point. The boys didn't get pulled in and say, what are you wearing today?
You're right. We had it
in your stocking.
Yeah, no, you're right. We had it really easy. I mean, I was the same because I went into accounting and then, had a bit of money. So I was buying Balmain suits and things. And yeah, looking rather good, I must say, back in those days, a lot thinner. But yeah, I could wear the same suit, for weeks, just changing my shirt. But the poor ladies, would have to be different every day.
Absolutely.
Or someone else would comment, which is just plain bonkers. The best bit of advice I ever got was to buy 2 pairs of trousers with a suit, because your trousers always wear out quicker than your jacket.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah. Absolutely. And in fact, some of those, for the middle class folks in Sears and JCPenney, that they sold a suit with 2 pairs of slacks. That was part of the package. That's the way it was back then.
Yeah, that's what it needed to be.
The one thing that just amazed me, though, is how I had never dreamed I would be fined for a run in my stocking.
How much was the fine?
I think the way I remember it, I because it was way back when, it seemed to me we had a certain credit each month. We started with $100 credit, and then we actually got a bonus. We got a cash bonus if we didn't, whatever was.
Your sound is gone.
Oh, it is? Huh.
Well, that might be me.
No, I can hear you, and I can see mine going.
Oh, I don't know whether your sound's gone, Barb,
It's not
or it
showing
might
it.
be mine.
Hey, if anybody's watching, let me know if my sound is gone, because within the
I'll hit
studio,
a key. Refresh.
oh boy, I could hear, I'm here in StreamYard in this application, and you can literally, let's see if we got you. Can you hear?
Now in pairing mode, waiting for connection. Bluetooth connect.
That was weird, Barb. That was my Bluetooth just.
Oh, it might have needed to
Well, I
be
still can't hear you.
charged.
Yeah, Mum.
Now in pairing mode, waiting for connection. Bluetooth connected.
No, it's weird. I can't hear you, Barb, for some reason.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Hi, Kate. Hi, Katie. Got a message for you. I must send you a message in a minute. Cool. We both sound great. We're going to talk over each other, though.
Yeah.
I think that's the problem. Durham Skywriter. I have my teal shiny blazer from the 80s. Gotta love a bit of teal. Did they sport shoulder pads or Carnaby Street? Carnaby Street. In the 80s, shoulder pads were in the UK. You had to have shoulder pads. Absolutely.
We got it. We got it finally.
Barb, I can't hear you. I'm hoping you can hear me.
I can hear you fine. And
it's got to be time to end. Otherwise, I'll talk all over you.
Yeah, we'll end.
And we were having such fun.
Absolutely. I'm so sorry. You can see the sound waves on my icon. Everybody else can see me. But what I'm going to do, folks, is I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. I will be back on my profile at 9 a.m. today, sharing the adventures of what is going on at my end. So I'll see you then.